Hey, DoorGrow hackers! It's property management growth coach Jon Ray. Today, I wanted to talk about some ways that you can make your website convert better. And this is going to help you get more leads and win the face off that happens when a prospect is searching the internet and looking for a property manager and they land on your website. And what do they see? If you're like a lot of the property managers that I talk to, and I talk to hundreds a week, and I always look at their website, and a lot of property management websites are frankly really terrible. They have not spent a lot of time on their messaging, and because of that, they are losing a huge opportunity for converting their website traffic into more leads. Because if you have 100 people coming to your website every single week and all of them are bouncing off and going to your competitor, then your website is really not serving as any kind of digital asset or tool. However, if you're getting 100 leads coming to your week, or hopefully more traffic than that, and you're converting at a really high ratio of 70, 80, or 90%, which is almost unheard of in this space, then you're obviously going to have the phone ringing more often. And a lot of these tips that I'm going to be giving you for how to improve your website are also going to be tips for how you can improve your sales process once somebody calls in. So, everything that I'm going to tell you is going to be free advice that you can go and apply yourself or have somebody on your team apply yourself. I will warn you ahead of time that at the end of this, if this seems too complicated or if you just don't have the time to do it, but you think that these are good ideas, I am going to give you a way where you can hire me and DoorGrow to do these things. However, that is not necessary for you to get a ton of value out of this presentation. And I'm going to give you some actionable things that you can go and do right now if you take the time to do it that will bring in more leads. So, with that preface, let's get started. It's actually not one thing that you need to change. There's 10 things that we're going to go through. And this is a checklist that I use anytime that I'm coaching someone or writing copy for someone or putting together an online marketing strategy for someone. We always want to approach these 10 things. So I'll go through the list and then we'll deep dive into each one. We want to make sure that we have a clear headline or purpose statement. You've heard in some of my other videos how bullish I am on purpose statements, and we'll look at some examples of a bad purpose statement versus a good one. We want to avoid lazy copywriting, which is what nearly every single property management website has. We want to highlight the problem, present the solution. You know what? Let's just go through this list so that I can deep dive into each one. You see what's there. I'm going to show you how if you fix these 10 things on your website, you are going to get the phone to ring more often and you are going to have more leads organically from the website traffic that you're already getting. So first off, when it comes to a clear headline or purpose statement, you need to be directing your prospect on what to do and who you are and why they should trust you. These are screenshots from actual property management websites that I've seen this week. And you can see when you go to the website, there's just this beautiful image. Of course, it's a beautiful image. It's the place that the city that they serve, but there is literally no action for me to take or no direction for me, the prospect, to take when I come to this website above the fold. And when I talk about above the fold, I mean before I have to scroll, there should be information that starts to draw me into your content and get me used to your services and why I should trust you. Because as we know, in the property management world, you're not really selling property management services until the very end. You have to sell trust first, and people have to trust you. And the way that you do that is by giving them information. If somebody comes to your website and they pull it up and there's literally nothing there, that's not a good way to start off because they're going to immediately move to another tab. And if your competitor has some better messaging here, they're going to end up calling them. Here's another zero statement or no purpose statement. A lot of property management websites, I'm just blown away at how many property management websites don't have a clear directive or statement at the top of their website. Or this statement is specifically written for SEO and it reads like it's for a robot and there's no human interaction or personality. The reason that we call it a purpose statement is that we want to bring some kind of human personality into your website so people don't think that they're just interacting with a robot. Lazy copywriting is what a lot of property management websites have, and I want you to go through your own website and see if you have statements like this. Almost every property management website that I see says, we provide the best in property management. You can see this one says, our goal is simple, our mission is clear, we will set high standards and exceed them. Well, really, their goal isn't simple or clear because I have no idea what it is. That's lazy copywriting, and usually people get so caught up in the weeds and fires of their property management business that they don't ever take the time to strategically think about how are they messaging their services to their prospects who are showing up. And so one thing that you've got to do is go and search out all of the competitors in your local space, read through their copy, and then make sure your copywriting on your website is better than this. Here's another example of lazy copywriting. We are property management specialists. Really? Well, I hope so, because that's your profession. We need to go deeper than just these kind of high-level platitudes. We need to provide some real value. Another thing that I see all the time is, we are committed to you. This is another nothing statement that doesn't really mean anything because everybody is saying it. And so if you will avoid some of this lazy copywriting, and I'm going to show you how you can easily shift it into more precise copywriting, you're going to end up converting more people. So what does better or good copywriting look like? Well, we want to highlight the problem that your customer is likely having, and your customer is a property owner or a property investor. And so what we want to do is showcase some mistake that they might run into. So you can see this says the number one mistake, or the one mistake, this one mistake has cost property investors tens of thousands of dollars. Here's how we avoid the rookie mistakes that less experienced property managers can end up making. So this does a few things. One, this showcases that you have a certain level of expertise because you understand what the risks and rewards of the industry are, and you've identified a clear mistake. That sets you up and positions and frames you as the authority. Two, you're giving them a little bit of anxiety and tension around the fact that if they end up hiring a rookie property manager, and you're alluding that a lot of property managers are rookie property managers, and of course this is true, then a rookie property manager might end up making this mistake. And so then this could point to some kind of a download where you're explaining your philosophy about how you avoid this mistake, or how you go about servicing properties in a way that's different from your competition. But you can see how this statement, rather than just saying property management Austin, this statement creates a little bit of tension that is then going to make your prospect or the potential property owner who's looking at the website feel uneasy about calling somebody else before they understand what this one mistake is. Then you want to highlight your solution, and always good copywriting is about creating FOMO, or a fear of missing out. So you can see this headline is, Boston has 12 time sensitive opportunities for property investors. Download our quarterly report to discover how you can take advantage of each for improved appreciation and cash flow. So what I'm showcasing is, again, I'm an authority, I'm a thought leader in the space, and because I'm an authority, I've been able to identify 12 time-sensitive opportunities that property investors can take advantage of. Well, if I'm a property investor, that piques my curiosity, and I want to know what those opportunities are. And before I go and call one of your competitors, I need to know what these opportunities are to make sure that I'm taking advantage of them. And then of course you can point to some kind of a download, you can have them schedule a free consultation. But good copywriting on your website is going to create some kind of an emotional connection, and that emotional connection isn't always a feel-good connection. Sometimes it's a feeling of, ooh, I might miss out if I don't call this person. And that can sometimes be a better trigger to get somebody to take action immediately, rather than what a lot of consumers do is they're looky-loos. They just lurk in the background and they never actually engage with you. So good copywriting is going to help you engage faster with the prospects who are on your website. Next is that you want to borrow credibility. So this could look like you joining one of your local associations or the Better Business Bureau, highlighting some of the awards or credentials that you have. You could put out a press release and get some of the local news to maybe pick it up. And then the advantage of that is that then you can put that news outlet's logo on your website, and this adds a ton of credibility, because we're just trained to see if there's a CNN or a Fox or an NBC or a Forbes logo on your website. Well, clearly that makes it seem like you are the authority, because why else would the press be interested in you? And on a slow news days, it can actually be really easy, if you write a press release correctly, to get some media coverage, or at least some written coverage on their website. And of course, you can still say that you were featured there because you were featured on their website. So borrowing credibility is a way to anchor your authority so that people start to trust you. These are trust indicators, and trust is what you're selling first before you're ever selling property management services. Next is you want to showcase social proof. So social proof is testimonials, and I'm going to get to that next, but social proof is also quantifying how you've helped people before. And so we want to say something like happy tenants equals increased revenue, but then we want to quantify what we actually mean by that. So you can say something like, we've created 1.4 million plus in yearly cash flow for our investors 7 years in a row. Well, that's a really powerful statement. And what the property owner doesn't realize, unless they do the math, is that really anybody who, is managing 600 to 800 properties is likely going to be creating that amount of cash flow. But it's a really impressive packaging of the data. And that's what we want to do. Even if you only have 30 doors, we want to look at the data that we have available from what you're currently doing and find an impressive way to package and present that data. Then we want to, another thing could be our Tenants Win program saw 454 tenants get a 20% or greater improvement in their credit score by being model tenants last year. Well, what does a property owner want? They want model tenants who aren't going to ruin one of their biggest assets. And so anytime we're creating something that's a program, it's a way to showcase our authority and thought leadership, which is what all marketing and storytelling is about, is anchoring you as a leader in the industry. So the Tenants Win program may just be you signing your tenants up for Cred Hub so that they, as they're renting, improve their credit score. It's not really that big of a deal, but when we call it the Tenants Win program, it positions it as this interesting way that, unlike your competitors, you're giving your tenants a way to take ownership in their experience in the property, which means they're going to likely leave it in better shape. And then you want to, if you've got a bunch of 5-star reviews, you want to make sure you highlight that. Over 700 5-star reviews on Google from happy tenants and owners. I'm going to show you how you can increase the number of reviews and increase your reputation online in a second. But if you do have a lot of reviews, you want to make sure that you're highlighting the number of reviews clearly, not just one or two of the best reviews. Then testimonials, of course, we all know that we need these, but you want to make sure that, if possible, you're highlighting new testimonials every 30 to 60 days. A consumer is 70% more likely to engage with your content or pick up the phone if there's a review from an organic source like Google, Yelp, or Facebook that is less than 30 days old. And of course, if there's a photo associated with it, the trust goes even higher. So if you don't have testimonials, or you're looking for a way to get more of these, we do have a paid service called Gather Kudos. You can just go to gatherkudos.com to learn more about it. And the beauty of Gather Kudos is that we give you a way to get real feedback from your tenants and from your property owners without risking them writing a negative review. So we allow you to send out an email to everybody that you've ever worked with, and it says, hey, you recently worked with us. What was that like? and then it gives them a smiley face, a straight face, or a frowny face. If they click on the straight or frowny face, it's going to take them to a place where they can write a quote unquote review, but that review is going to come to you privately, so you still get the feedback and can iterate in your business based on that feedback, but that negative feedback isn't going to go anywhere publicly. However, if they click the smiley face, it's going to allow them to write a glowing review about you, and then they can put that on Yelp, on Facebook, on Google, and then we are able to dynamically pull your latest 5-star reviews and place those in strategic positions on your website so that you always have a refreshing cycle of 5-star reviews that are clearly from an organic source like Google, so people know that they're real, and they can see a timestamp on them so that they know they're recent. This is a really great way to build trust with the people on your website. And gatherkudos.com, those packages just start at $29 a month, or you can reach out to me and I can give you more information on that. But any type of social proof, testimonials, is a great way to anchor in that trust. And again, all of your marketing, everything on your website should be anchoring you as the authority and thought leader in your space. Then we want to have a call to action. People want to be told what to do. This is what consumers like. They want the sales process to be easy. And so when you're properly guiding them and showing them where to go, it's going to be a more delightful experience. And so think about what action you want somebody to take on your website, and now go look at your website. Are you ever asking them to actually take that action? If you want them to pick up the phone, then you need to say, call us now for a free consultation, or call us now to find out how much your property could cash flow in this neighborhood. Whatever the pitch is, you know better than me what your local market is and who your avatar customer is, but you need to understand, one, what is the value that they're hoping to get out of hiring you as a property manager? And two, what action do you want to tie to you showcasing that you can deliver that value? So you want to get them to fill out a form or pick up the phone or schedule a free consultation. And in exchange for doing that thing, you need to be offering them something of value. Next, you want to reverse any risks that they might associate with your service. So a lot of property managers have had really bad experiences with property management firms in the past. And so you need to be familiar with what are the most common poor experiences that happen in the property management space. And then you need to address that you understand that that happens with some property managers, and here's how you reverse the risk of that. You know, in California, because there's so many laws that are changing, and you know, everything's kind of in flux right now about the relationship between the landlord and the tenant. And so having a property manager that really understands what all of those new rules and laws are is really valuable. And so if you write something like this, where the nuances of landlord-tenant laws in California are changing rapidly, lawsuits are popping up statewide, and many property managers are not prepared should they have to go to court on your behalf. Our seasoned staff has helped countless property owners respect the law to lower legal risk while remaining profitable. So what you're doing is, you're anchoring yourself by saying, I'm an authority, I'm a thought leader. Here are the risks that you might have if you go with one of my competitors. And I'm going to tell you right now that I'm capable of properly handling that risk. And what we're doing here is, one, we're creating tension by showcasing the potential of legal risk, but then we're alleviating that by providing our services as the relief and the answer to that, to solving that risk. Then SSL Certificate. I cannot believe how many websites have this big old "not secure" next to the URL. Go and log into Google Chrome right now and look at your website. Is there a big "not secure" right now? This is a big no-no for Google. It's going to make it really hard for you to rank in SEO. It showcases to Google that your site is not encrypted or secure. And if you're trying to sell trust, is it a good idea for somebody to come to your website and the first thing that they see is "not secure"? Subconsciously, even if they don't draw their attention towards it, it's just not a good precedent to set. An SSL certificate costs you 99 bucks, maybe a little bit more to have somebody install it. You've got to make sure that you've got one installed so that this says secure and not a big fat not secure. Price anchoring is another thing that we need to make sure that we're doing on the website in order to properly differentiate you from your competition and to give the consumer, again, a little bit of relief. So you do this by having a premium set of pricing. And the premium pricing is there so that if they do want a white glove, really high-end service, you can offer that to them and it's going to be at a higher fee. However, that premium price anchors the price of what you actually want them to do, which is your most popular item. So you this is kind of a Goldilocks style, is what Jason usually calls it, the Goldilocks style of property management pricing, where you have kind of a low-end pricing, maybe they just want tenant placement, you have the white glove premium pricing, and then both of those things properly anchor what the pricing that you actually want them to resonate with, which is your main package that you're trying to sell. And so all of the risk and all of the anxiety of paying too much gets associated with the premium management, and then the package that you actually want them to see, so you're going from 12% down to 10%. Now all of a sudden they're anchoring that 10% against the premium package, and there's actually a sense of relief. And so this is a really interesting way to make sure that you are properly presenting your pricing in a way where it's received well by the consumer. And then finally, of course, you want to have beautiful design. If you're building your website on Wix or on Squarespace, or if you're using even some of the property management engines that are built on their own back-end CMS, the design is clunky. There's not much customization that you can do. There's not clear call to actions that you can make. And so beautiful design really doesn't cost that much. If you hire a company who knows proper branding and design techniques, they're going to be able to create a website that makes you look like $1 million company for very, very little money. And that perceived value goes a long way, especially when somebody's trusting a $500,000 asset to you or more. So again, to kind of cover the bases of everything that we went into, if you will change these 10 things on your website, you will convert more traffic. And whether you're getting 100 people to your website every single week, or 1,000 or 10,000, think about how many more people would be calling you or filling out your form if you were able to increase your conversion ratio of that traffic just 10%. Well, if you do all of these things, likely you're going to improve your conversion ratio of your website 30, 40, 50, maybe even more percentage points. That's a lot of traffic that now is potentially calling you on the phone, filling out your form. And if you can bring these same ideas and philosophy into your sales process on your phone call, of course, you're going to be able to add more doors every single month. So what do you need to do? You need to make sure you have a clear headline or purpose statement. You need to tell the prospect what you want them to do. Avoid lazy copywriting by what every property manager says is, I'm reliable, I'm experienced, I'm going to be committed to you. Because everybody is saying these things, they mean absolutely nothing. You need to get more bold and more direct with how you're communicating to your prospects. You do that by highlighting the problem that they have and then presenting yourself as the unique solution. Then you're going to borrow credibility by giving your social numbers some kind of data-driven statement. So remember, we talked about taking the amount of cash flow that you create across your entire portfolio and maybe adding that all together, and so that looks like an impressive number. We've added $1.4 million in cash flow this year. It's what a lot of property managers are doing, but because you've packaged it in an interesting way, it seems like there's more credibility there and more impressive than it actually is. And it is impressive. If you're adding 1.4 million in cash flow, it actually is impressive too. We just want to make sure that you package it in a way where people see that. You want to provide social proof. This is the testimonials. I'm sorry, what I just talked about with the data-driven numbers was social proof. The borrowing credibility is joining the Better Business Bureau, joining NARPM, joining your local associations, putting out a press release and getting those news logos on your website. Those are all ways to borrow credibility. Testimonials, of course, is utilizing a tool like Kudos, making sure that your testimonials on the website are written in a way where they really do sell you and showcase the problem and the solution that you offered and provided them. Make sure that those testimonials have a photo next to them. At least 2 or 3 should have a photo. And then everything else should be dynamically pulling 5-star reviews from one of the social places like Yelp, Google, or Facebook, so that you always have fresh 5-star reviews that were written in the last 30 to 60 days. Then you need a clear call to action where you're telling them what you want them to do. People will do what you want them to do if you ask them to do it, and everything else resonates with them. You want to reverse the risk. So they're coming into your website and they know that there's a certain risk to hiring a property manager. You need to make sure that you address all of those risks and then reverse the risk by showcasing how you're not going to let that risk happen if they work with you. You want to anchor your pricing by providing a premium option and a lower base option, and those 2 things highlight the Goldilocks option that you want them to take. And then, of course, you need to have a website with great design. So you can rewatch this live video. Hopefully you were taking notes. You can take a screenshot of this list right here. And if you make those changes to your website, you are going to convert more of the traffic coming into your website to leads, and you're going to get more phone calls, which is going to lead to more revenue, more doors, and you're going to actually have better conversations on the phone because you're pre-framing yourself as the authority. The worst thing that you can do is take on a property owner who doesn't think that you know what you're doing, because then they're going to micromanage the whole thing, and we all understand what a headache that is. When you present yourself as a thought leader and an authority who knows what you're doing in your local space, then the property owner's hiring you because they trust you to do your thing, and they're going to be hands off and let you do your thing, which is going to be a much more satisfying experience for you. So if you still need some help implementing these 10 things, if you know that your website sucks and needs help, I will help you. If you don't have the time to reverse engineer everything that I said and implement it, I and my team can help you with this. And so here's where I'm going to pitch you on something that you can buy. If you want a website audit, which is where I'm going to go through your website and I'm going to take a red pen to it and I'm going to tell you all the things that are ugly and nonsensical on your website. And it might hurt your feelings, but then I'm going to give you the solution, which is great copywriting, and all the things that I just highlighted. And I'm going to give you a strategy for how you can properly position yourself on your homepage in a way that presents you as the authority and is going to get the phone to ring more often. If you want that, I want you to message me. I want you to email me, john@doorgrow.com, or I want you to comment right now on this video. And if you want to do this by the end of the week for $1,500, I will make sure that the copy on your website is really great and does everything that I just highlighted in this video. And if you try to implement everything that I just said on your own, and as you start to do it, you get frustrated, give me a call, book some time with me, hit me up with a comment, and maybe it just makes more sense for me to do the thing that I'm great at and you to do the thing that you're great at, which is manage properties and close deals when they call. So this is one way that you can get the phone to ring a little bit more often. And then if you know that your website is garbage right now, and you know that and you've been dragging your feet on it, then I've got a great deal for you, because we offer our seed site packages, which are beautiful websites for property managers with all the trust indicators built in that you need to be able to convert cold traffic to warm traffic. Now, normally, for one of those websites designed, it's $29.97, but that doesn't include any copywriting. You fill out a survey and you do all the copywriting, and we design it and make it beautiful and make sure that it meets all the branding practices. If you want a website today, I will throw in the website audit and copywriting for free. So you're getting $1,500 of website auditing and copywriting for free if you decide that you want to do a full website with us for $29.97. But you got to tell me today. And then, of course, we offer 30-day backups, amazing customer service, support, and that hosting is $97 a month once the website has launched and you're happy with everything. So I hope this was valuable. I hope you guys got some good action items that you can take with you and start converting into leads. Tell me which of these you're going to, in the comments, tell me which one of these you're going to go and implement right now. And if you want me to do these things for you, because this is my genius zone, so if you want to hire somebody in their genius zone to do this for you so that you can start converting more leads and growing your business faster, then just reach out to me via email, john@doorgrow.com. Comment, message me on Facebook. But let's make this a win for you. And I appreciate your attention. I know that you're busy as a property manager, and I will do my best to continue providing value to this community. Let me know what you thought about this presentation and if we should do more of this. Thanks. Bye.